Let me bring you to local politics. And things are getting heated. Just yesterday, I was getting response to what Mr. Peter Obi said about some of the alleged failures of this government in terms of the killings. And he made reference to what some of those who are in government now, perhaps talking about President Bola Tinubu, he said he had told Jonathan to step aside or resign, and he has told President Tinubu to resign. But when I asked my guest yesterday, who is Senator Ali Modu Sheriff, who is a former governor of Borno State, he went on a diatribe against Mr. Peter Obi, and you will see how incensed he was. And he said Peter Obi is not qualified to be able to tell President Tinubu to resign or step aside because of what is going on in the country. What would you say to that kind of statement or that kind of anger that he showed against Peter Obi?
Well, I'll say that Peter Obi, his politics in Nigeria is common knowledge. What Peter is preaching is about change in the way we do things, how to reorientate the country and do things the proper way. Cut down cost of governance, be more patriotic, be more moved to empathy towards the welfare of the Nigerian citizens. He is not preaching extremism in his political message. For Ali Modu Sheriff and his diatribe yesterday, I was so pained that this country has continued to harbor people who are their problems. People like Ali Modu Sheriff are the problems of this country. People who have vowed that Nigeria will not move forward. Nigeria will not have any change. And I was questioning his authority, his moral authority, to talk to Peter Obi the way he did. Is he a good example of Nigerian leader? Somebody who threw his region into insecurity of the highest proportion through Boko Haram. It's because we don't sanction anybody. When you do things, you think Nigerians are forgotten. And that is why he could come to the studio to say such things. He spoke about Obi not condemning Biafra, war that ended 56 years ago. When that war broke out in 1967, Peter Obi was 6 years old because he was born in 1961. When the war ended in 1970, Peter was 9 years old. So how can he be blaming him for anything that happened between 1967 and 1970? Because of that, he has lost right to aspire to be president of Nigeria. These are the people who are holding Nigeria down. I take you back to the 1994 genocide in Rwanda. That genocide in Rwanda happened between 7th April and 19th July in 1994. Within a space of about 100 days, over 800,000 people were killed, about 1 million people were eliminated from one ethnic group, the Tutsis, And today, they have forgotten about that. Rwanda has moved on. Paul Kagame has provided leadership. That in Rwanda today, there's no Tutsi, there's no Hutu. If you ask anybody from Rwanda, where are you from? You say, I'm a Rwandan. That is the way to build nations, not to retain hate, not to retain acrimony over time.
How do you interpret his kind of comment and hard line against Peter Obi? Those critical comments against Peter Obi coming at this time?
It's political. It is political. Anybody who gets up will say the North will not vote for Peter Obi. They incited their people against Peter Obi to use that and weaponize a war that ended 56 years ago, that the North should not vote for Peter Obi. Let them remain in the Stone Age. Nobody is in the Stone Age anymore. But Nigeria is moving. And if you don't do reconciliation and healing, you cannot move forward. So what he's trying to do is to whip up sentiment against Peter Obi ahead of the election. Peter Obi is one of the finest souls Nigeria has had. Somebody who is non-violent, somebody who preaches peace, somebody, even if you slap him, he will smile. And he continues with his message of change. Let this country be turned around. He has a right to say that the president has not met the expectations of the Nigerian people. is politically allowed to say resign, because the current president asked Jonathan to resign when he was in office.
So it is well in his right to ask the president to resign.
Anybody has if you are not satisfied with what you are getting from your leadership, you can ask for leadership change. The only leadership change we want in Nigeria is a democratic leadership change, where the Nigerian people will be allowed to vote for anybody of their choice to provide leadership to them.